Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're exploring some really thought-provoking material. It asks us to fundamentally rethink how we nurture the next generation.
That's right.
Our source for this deep dive is Raising Luminaries, Education for Mind and Heart, which is a profound work from, well, it's described as a human and AI educational institute.
Yes, and for those curious about that, this institute, it kind of uniquely blends human pedagogical expertise with AI-driven insights. They analyze ancient texts, modern research, shaping new educational frameworks.
Interesting blend.
It really is. And it's an urgent call, for a deeper, more holistic vision for education, moving beyond just metrics and memorization.
Right.
Our mission today is really to unpack this vision, help you see how it proposes to cultivate children, not just as, say, future workers, but as co-creators of a more unified world.
Wow. Co-creators of a unified world. That's an incredibly high bar for education.
It is.
But how does this visionary ideal actually translate into practice? I mean, the source gives us a powerful starting point, right? By dissecting this radiant passage from Abdu'l Bahá.
Exactly.
And just for context, Abdu'l Bahá was a central figure in the Bahá'í faith, known for his very progressive views on education, human rights, global unity. This is back at the turn of the 20th century.
And his insights, as we'll see, they resonate surprisingly well with contemporary thinking. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah. So this quote, it calls for an extraordinary educational ideal. An individual whose soul reflects the universe's mysteries, talent spanning science and art, and whose life serves humanity globally. How do we even begin to shape learning environments or parenting approaches to fulfill such a luminous mandate? That's what we're getting into today.
That's the core question.
And what I found particularly striking is how the source breaks down that quote. It gives us 4 key concepts. You can think of them as like the 4 pillars supporting this whole vision.
Guiding us towards that mandate,
Right.
Yes.
So the first pillar is about fostering a child who can master every kind of learning. No. Okay. That sounds daunting, like becoming an expert in everything.
Right. It sounds overwhelming at first glance.
Yeah.
But the source clarifies it's more about introducing children to diverse domains, literature, ethics, physics, history, biology.
Right.
The goal isn't immediate mastery of all of them. It's more about awakening latent capacities, building rich neural architecture, cultivating curiosity, and instilling that sense of interconnectedness. But you raised a good point, host, about the jack-of-all-trades idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't there a risk of becoming a jack of all trades, master of none here?
Yeah.
How does the source reconcile this breadth with, the need for depth eventually?
That's a crucial point, and it's where the language of the source gets really insightful. It's not about superficiality. It talks about intellectual omnivory.
Omnivory, like eating everything.
Kind of. Exposing children to every discipline, not for immediate expertise, but to ignite their innate potential and to reveal the profound interconnectedness of all knowledge.
Okay, I see.
What's fascinating here is how this aligns with modern understanding. Early, broad exposure actually builds a more flexible foundation, and then deeper, more purposeful specialization can thrive later on.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay. So pillar 2 is being eager to become skilled in every art. Music, painting, poetry, dance. The source really emphasizes how the arts aren't just, hobbies. They enhance cognitive flexibility, emotional expression, cultural literacy.
And neuroscience confirms this emphatically. I mean, artistic engagement supports everything from memory and emotional regulation to literacy, even empathy.
Wow.
These aren't peripheral activities. The source actually describes them as forming the emotional and imaginative spine of a child's being.
The spine, that's powerful imagery.
It is. They're fundamental to holistic development, not just pleasant distractions.
Okay, then the third concept is truly profound. The heart as a mirror of reality. This suggests that true education isn't about simply filling the mind with facts, but awakening a deeper kind of perception.
Exactly.
It talks about spiritual cognition, ethical discernment, emotional sensitivity, allowing children to move beyond just surface-level facts toward recognizing truth, beauty, purpose.
Yes.
But this concept of spiritual cognition, it sounds incredibly important, but also maybe quite abstract. How would a parent or teacher actually nurture this inner mirror in practical terms, beyond just asking questions, I mean?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's tricky. The source implies it's about developing an intuitive grasp of, let's say, universal principles. Seeing beyond the superficial, understanding the deeper meaning and experiences.
Okay.
Think of it as cultivating a kind of spiritual GPS for life. It's probably less about direct instruction and more about creating an environment, one that encourages observation, reflection, empathy.
So the child discovers it.
Precisely. Allowing children to discover these truths for themselves, it goes beyond rote learning to perceive these deeper, interconnected realities.
Right, nurturing that internal compass.
Okay.
And finally, the fourth pillar, earning worldwide fame in all branches.
Ah, yes.
Now, this one immediately sounds like, well, a recipe for ego, doesn't it?
It could, at first glance.
But the source clarifies it's quite the opposite. This fame is about service-driven excellence. Abdu'l Bahá advocated for children to develop mastery in their chosen fields so they could contribute meaningfully to the world.
Exactly.
So global recognition just becomes a byproduct of universal service, which aligns perfectly with modern calls for purpose-centered education, global citizenship.
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it completely reframes our conventional idea of success. It really does.
How so?
Well, it's not about individual accolades or, self-aggrandizement. It's about profound contribution, where one's skills are developed and used to benefit humanity on a global scale. It just flips the script on how we often measure achievement.
That's a huge shift in perspective.
It really is. And what's truly remarkable as we look at these pillars is how cutting-edge neuroscience and educational psychology are now validating principles laid down centuries ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's a powerful testament to the timeless wisdom embedded in this vision. It shows us that what feels new might just be a rediscovery.
So modern science is catching up.
In many ways, yes. The source highlights breadth before specialization, for instance. It cites experts like David Epstein, author of Range.
Oh, I know that book. Great read.
His work shows that generalists, those who explore widely before committing deeply, are often more adaptable, more innovative. Late specialization can actually bring stronger purpose, maturity, relevance.
So it really does reinforce that idea of trying a little bit of everything before picking your major, almost.
Pretty much.
It reminds me of all those kids who switch majors 3 times in college.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just intuitively following this principle.
Exactly. Could be. And modern science increasingly supports what the source calls holistic intelligence.
Holistic intelligence, what does that encompass?
Well, it means emotional, social, spiritual, and creative intelligence are now recognized as essential for success and well-being. Not just cognitive ability, not just IQ.
Right, it's a whole person.
It's a much richer tapestry of human capabilities, and they're all interconnected.
And there's also latent learning. That's a fascinating idea. That children absorb knowledge even without showing immediate interest. Gentle, joyful exposure awakens curiosity over time. You don't have to force it.
Yeah, exactly. It's about creating an environment where learning is simply part of life, almost osmotic, as you said earlier.
Okay, so we've explored this timeless wisdom and how modern science echoes it. Now, for the critical question, what does this mean for us as parents, as educators, in the real world?
Practical application, yes.
The source provides a brilliant roadmap here. There's a table showing how these principles can be applied both in schools and at home.
Which is really helpful.
So for diverse learning, schools could implement, say, weekly units exploring cross-disciplinary topics, connecting science and history maybe.
Right. And at home, you could engage in reading together, doing little experiments, storytelling across various domains, just weaving it into daily life.
Makes sense.
Then for artistic immersion, schools really should integrate arts curriculum, make it a core part of their offering, not just, an elective shoved to the side.
Absolutely.
And parents can incorporate home activities, music, dance, drawing, poetry. It's about making art a natural daily part of a child's life, really weaving it into the fabric of their upbringing.
Okay. And to foster that reflective inquiry, the mirror heart idea, schools could encourage things like journaling, maybe quiet time or meditation, dialogue spaces, creating dedicated time for deep thought and inner processing.
Yes, those reflective practices.
And for parents, it could be as simple as asking prompts like, what truth did you discover today? Or maybe what made you wonder? That can make a huge difference, can't it?
Absolutely. Nurturing that internal reflection.
Yeah. And finally, for the global impact lens, schools can use project-based learning that has real community relevance, showing children how their work can directly benefit others, locally or even globally.
Connecting learning to purpose.
Precisely. And for parents, it's about framing success as contribution rather than just competition, helping children see their place in the wider world and how their unique efforts, whatever they may be, can serve a greater purpose. It's about empowering them to be active, compassionate participants.
It's such a different way of thinking about education. Imagine children not driven purely by grades, but guided by genuine wonder. Imagine classrooms that feel like, well, the source calls them laboratories of meaning, studios of compassion, and sanctuaries of joy.
Beautiful phrasing.
It really is. Imagine parenting that nurtures not just good behavior, but luminous hearts and minds destined to reflect the universe's innermost truths.
And the source emphasizes this isn't some impossible utopia, it's a direction, a path. One rooted in a master teacher whose vision wasn't just for an elite few, but for humanity's children, everywhere. A universal vision.
It's an invitation, really, to elevate our understanding of what education truly means. It offers a powerful blueprint for the future.
So our deep dive today has really unfolded a transformative vision for education, hasn't it?
It certainly has.
One that calls us to move beyond those conventional metrics, to cultivate children who are deeply connected to the universe's secrets, skilled in both science and art, and driven by this profound desire to serve humanity.
It's a compelling argument that by integrating this kind of, let's call it spiritual wisdom with modern research, we really can foster individuals capable of profound insight and meaningful contribution.
Fulfilling their potential.
Exactly, as those co-creators of a more unified world.
We hope this deep dive encourages you, the listener, to reflect on how you might nurture a mirror heart, whether it's within yourself or the young people in your life.
What stands out to you?
Yeah, what stands out to you about raising children to live reflectively, to serve, and to understand the world through both mind and heart? Perhaps the biggest challenge isn't just what we teach, but how we inspire children to see and reflect the vastness of the universe within themselves, and ultimately to find their unique role in its grand tapestry.